taken out. Oh, bombs from the Hoarder!
Oh, that's...
So we're gonna have to see some progression items soon, or we're gonna be in trouble.
And there's our audio. I saw some commentary in the chat, but it seems like we're good to go on game audio now.
Shout out to Epibilicos for our free stream here. He's doing his best to give you guys a good show. But now we got our audio back here. Got full magic from the tree pool, which is very nice. If they find anything to use that magic with, that's going to come in handy.
Yeah, I like to have full magic early, especially getting those magic pots right at Uncle in that cave, in case you run into a fire rod or Cane of Samaria or something you can use as a weapon.
All right, so let's see what Blind Hut has for us today. 5 potential items. What do we find? The bow!
The bow! Here we go. Let's get started.
And the mirror! And a red moraine to boot. Holy cow. Did I call it or did I call it? I said we were going to find something big, and boy, was I right. Piece of heart from the back.
So that bow is almost certainly going to send them over to Eastern Palace pretty early. It creates some tension with whether you want to go to Eastern Palace or do the typical route south to the dam. So we'll see where both these runners go once they clean up CAC here.
Indeed. Now both the runners heading into the well. Again, typical routing for the Sphere 0 area. You want to get all this stuff knocked out here. Another heart container starting things off. And nope, just another piece of heart in the back.
The mirror is always a good item to have early too, because as soon as you get into the dark world, it helps with efficient routing.
Moon Pearl!
And there's our Moon Pearl. So that dark world access becoming more and more of a reality as we go on.
Indeed, all they need now is either 2 mitts or gloves and hammer. Piece of heart from the bottle vendor. So we're starting to see a lot of early access here. I mean, this, if they find gloves, Death Mountain starts to look really nice right about now. But we need a lamp.
I'm still hoping for Aghanim here. Oh, and that
Magic
helps
Cape.
with that. Cape definitely is a sign that could eventually point toward an Aghanim seed. When you get that early Moon Pearl, it means that the game could be pointing you towards getting your Dark World access through killing Aghanim. So let's hope for that.
They still need a sword for that, though, but they find a heart container in the tavern. Not going to be able to check Sick Kid yet because they don't have a bottle, so we'll have to come back for that later. But let's see what the library and the race game have to offer. How trolly is this seat going to be today?
I don't know. Let's get something good in the library here.
I would love that. Let's see. Nope, just a piece of heart.
Not today.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of ways to troll this here, so we'll see what we got. Race game coming up now, and gotta love the sync on these two. Both of them are pretty much right in sync. Only a 5-arrow upgrade. So now, most likely, South Shore is their next stop.
Yeah, as I was saying, in the first race, they were synced pretty much about through the first 40 minutes. It was really deaths at bosses for Maniacal that really decided the first race. One to Mothula and one to Helmasaur King.
And we got a map check here. Green pendant at Desert, blue pendant at Hera, crystal at Eastern.
Oh, I love to see that as a commentator. A lot of Dark World crystals. That means we'll be going through a lot of the harder dungeons, so we'll get to see a lot of good execution from these players. And here's that routing divergence that I talked about earlier. We have Beeblebrox going south, and we got Maniacal going straight over to Eastern with that bow.
And we got a fighter sword in the damn chest. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out later on. Plus, he used the mirror so he can immediately pull the dam open. No waste of time there. We'll see what's in that as Maniacal heading into Sarhasala's closet. 3 more potential items here. Piece of heart in the dam. We have 50 rupees, 5-arrow upgrade, and hammer time!
Oh yeah, there we go, hammer time. We're almost on our way to Dark World. Just one more glove upgrade and we will be on our way.
Maybe Zaphod will find it here in the mini Moldorm cave. We'll see. He's got that sword, so thankfully he has a little less trouble with these mini Moldorms. Meanwhile, Maniacal, he's got that bow. He figures, let's head over to Eastern.
Yeah, and Zaph getting that sword. That mini Moldorm cave is really tough without the...
Ooh, Ether Coin! And we also found the Bugnet Bloomerang Hookshot!
Holy cow, what a hype mini Moldorm cave. Maniacal needs to get down there ASAP. So Maniacal's starting his venture into Eastern Palace here. He's unfortunately going to have to do this without a sword, which, while not too hard for Eastern Palace, can be a bit of an annoyance. So I think Zaph has a little bit of an advantage here, in that he'll be able to do this palace a bit quicker.
Yeah, and the chat calling it. At this point, yeah, I see potential Shade Seed here. We're getting a lot of really good items early on. We know there's always that one that's going to get him. Which one will it be tonight?
So if I'm right, the Shade Seed is defined by a super quick early game with a ton of items, and then one troll item that takes forever to find. Am I right there?
That is exactly what I call a Shade Seed, and that is exactly what we're seeing here.
Oh, and there's our glove. There's our glove in Eastern Palace. So Dark World is going to be real soon.
As soon as he heads to the mini Moldorm cave, it will be. But yeah, I love the Power Glove. It is indeed so bad. Wow, yeah, this is definitely a Shade Seed in the making here. We are getting a ton of items in Sphere 0. So it's only a matter of time before. But the question is, which is the troll item? We don't know yet, because we don't know what crystals we need. We don't know what pendants we need. We don't even know if this is going to be a pedestal seed yet. There's a lot of questions to answer.
I'm calling Troll Ice Rod.
Ooh, that makes sense. Big key for Maniacal. That means he potentially may not have to do the vanilla big key room. But I don't know. It depends on what's in the big chest here. What will we find? Compass. Nope, never mind. Dark room it is.
And so with the map and the compass both being found, we know that there is going to be an item on Armos Knights. So we'll see that in just a minute after we get through these dark rooms.
I didn't notice. Did he already find the map?
Yeah, map was the first item.
Ah, then yeah, there's guaranteed item on Armos Knights. And probably one here too in the vanilla big key room. So this will be interesting.
And here's another advantage for Beeblebrox, is that he'll be able to go through these dark rooms with a sword, so he'll be able to see to follow the light, so to speak. Maniacal having to go through with the hammer.
Maniacal not having too much trouble through. Plus, as chat points out, he has a hook shot, so that'll give him a little extra speed advantage in a couple of rooms. But let's see. And setting up the damage boost there, gets through and finds 300 rupees.
So that 300 rupees with the Moon Pearl might mean that after he goes to Mini Moldorm Cave, he might be able to swing that into a trip down to Zora using some fake flippers. So we'll see what the route is chosen.
That wouldn't make sense. But again, unless we know where the flippers are going to end up being, that could be a wasted time sequence break. That's the problem with doing sequence breaks, is that you never know. But at least Zora himself would be in the logic, because they've got the gloves now to go to it.
And Maniacal showing a little bit of extra dungeon awareness with those fairies. Some runners I've seen don't even know that those are there, actually, because trying to go fast.
Yep. I know, but having that little extra health, especially this early on, never a bad thing. The tricky part with this dark room here is trying to find that Igor, and it's worse for Maniacal because, as you said earlier, he does not have his sword. So taking out those tentacles is equally difficult. And he's out of arrows, so he could be in trouble here if he didn't get the key from the Igar. Oh, that's gonna cost him.
Oh no, that dark room not going very well for Maniacal at all. And he was trying to play it safe with the fairies, but I feel like a saving quit is potentially right there. If those Igors get away from you, they body you real fast.
That's very true. He's gonna be heading down to the mini Moldorm cave and the swamp now, or dam area. He's probably gonna be kicking himself when he realizes he could have got a sword for Eastern Palace.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. That's kind of how Randomizer comes down, but I think he's more going to be kicking himself for not being able to complete the dungeon. Eastern Palace being crystal, he's going to have to do that eventually.
Wait, he is checking the Prince Cave. I call it the Prince Cave because it's the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
I've been calling it Tripe Cave because it usually has a paucity of really good items, but we'll see.
We'll see. We've got a 5-arrow upgrade from the thief, and then we find green rupee, 10 arrows, piece of heart, and $20. Trash cave.
And Tripe Cave confirmed. That is not helpful at all.
No, complete garbage in there. So now, since he's got the mirror, he's routing the Prince Cave in here, so he can do all this at once. He can do the swamp, or he can do the dam, and then he can do mini Moldorm Cave, and maybe even check Ice Rock Cave. I don't know if Zaphod checked that. I think he did.
Now it'll be really interesting when he gets a map check here in a second, because we'll get to see whether or not Palace of Darkness is a crystal. If it is, then the routing inefficiency isn't too bad, because he'll be able to head back to Eastern after he does Pod, or on his way over to Pod using the mirror.
Indeed. Zaphod opting to use the Ether Medallion to take out those tentacles, or at least freeze them in place for a while, and focus on the Igors. Not a bad strategy.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that, but it seems to be working out pretty well for him.
Indeed, indeed. Nigel now warping back over here. Gonna be... he's actually opting to pick up the piece of heart, which is an unusual thing for me. You don't really see people go for the pieces. But, hey, to each his own. And off to Mini Moldorm Cave, he's going to be very happy with what he finds in there.
He probably has that health situation from Eastern Palace on the back of his mind and just wants to play a little bit more safe.
I'd be more worried about arrows, considering that was what cost him more than health. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Zaphod just about to enter the Armos Knights here. Would be nice if we had silvers early on, but that's a rare treat, so he'll be doing it with normal arrows. Not too difficult. So Nigel now getting his swag net, his ether coin, bloomerang. Oh, and Fisher Price shield from the Armos Knights. Not great, but not terrible. Plus, he gets his first crystal.
Yeah, the Fisher-Price shield is not great in and of itself, but it could lead to greater things in the way of a mirror shield, which could make things a lot easier when it comes to the laser bridge at the end of the game if we're going to Turtle Rock.
Oh, absolutely. That laser bridge can be a nightmare if you don't have the mirror shield. It was designed for that very reason. So Maniacal now going to head over. Is he making the play to Dark World... either Skull Woods or Village of Outcasts? Interesting.
So apparently I'm having a little bit of trouble with my microphone that I'm trying to get resolved. I'm sorry, Chad, if you're getting a little bit of a high-pitched squeal from my mic. We're trying to get it resolved on my end. If need be, we'll send in a sub. But for now, I'm just going to try to roll with it as best I can.
No problem. Meanwhile, we did get our Dark World map check. Crystal 5 at Pod, Crystal 6 at Skull Woods, Red Pendant at Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock not required. Definitely a boon to these runners. That'll save on the items that they need to collect and hopefully make this seed a bit quicker. And it also probably eliminates that Troll Ice Rod I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, but this also cuts down on the pedestal seed hype because, you need at least several solid items. You need the hammer, which we already got, thankfully, but you also need 1 medallion, both ice and fire rod, and the cane of Samaria. That's a lot of items to get taken out of the pedestal pull. All right, so the Maniacal now heading into Skull Woods. Let's see what he finds in there. Finds the compass early on. And he is going the long way around, it seems. He's heading back this way to get to the other items. I see what he's doing now. Zaphod now got to check old Stumpy and finds a 5-bomb upgrade for his troubles. I did not see what Maniacal just picked up. Might have been, I think it was a key. Zaphod going to check the Mirror Cave below Sacred Grove and find Flippers!
Oh, Flippers is huge. That'll allow them to get into Swamp Palace and access Ice Palace as soon as they get a fire source.
Yeah, this seed is opening up very quickly for them. You know, we may actually see a Jet Seed more than a Shade Seed if this keeps up. All right, Maniacal now checking the back end of Skull Woods. He hasn't found much yet. Meanwhile, Zaphod going to pay a visit to old Alec Baldwin and try his hand at the digging game. Let's see what he finds hiding in there. Just triple bombs, unfortunately. And he's going to dig up. He's trying to dig up as much money as he can while he can, so he can get some Zora money. Maniacal death warping out.
Yeah, digging for that extra Zora money was definitely a good play. Not something a lot of runners think to do.
Save him a little bit of time, not much, but every little bit helps, especially since he now has enough money for Zora, whereas Maniacal still does not. So that should be interesting. Also, Zaphod going to check the back end of Escape, it looks like. We have not checked that yet. 3 potential items, 4 if you count the Dark Room. We'll see if he finds anything interesting in here.
Yeah, once you get that Dark World access, it's easy to forget the Escape, but Zaphod Beeblebrock's going right there right now, so we'll see what we get.
Yep, we get triple bombs, map, and blue mail. Not bad. Maniacal also checked the bumper cave, but I don't think he found anything of importance because he has the means to get it, but he did not. So instead, he is going to head over to the Village of Outcasts. We're going to check the Sea House first. And finds 100 rupees. Well, there's his Zora money. He's good to go.
It's seeming less and less likely that Zora is going to be relevant to the seed with the rate at which they're finding items, though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Zora does not seem like a good play. But then again, this is Randomizer. Just because their chances are reduced does not mean it's over. And, Maniacal finding the lamp in the bombable hut in Village of Outcasts.
It's always fun to see someone find a lamp while the other person's in a dark room.
The timing is just impeccable.
Zaph got a Maniacal earlier with the early sword, so a little randomizer vengeance there.
Yep. And powder in the chess game. Maybe he'll stop off and check over the Batcave. He's got the means to access it right now. But instead, I think what he's going to do is he's going to head into Thieves Town.
Yeah, and based on the last race, too, the big troll of that race was Mirror on Dwarven Smiths. So Maniacal's definitely going to be thinking about those locations over on the east side of Village of Outcasts, certainly.
Indeed, but right now he needs the mitts to be able to get to those. We're still looking on the lookout for those. But let's see what he finds in here. Master Sword! Actually, yeah, well, it's a second sword upgrade. He's only... No, he got his sword, didn't he?
He picked up his sword, so that's Master Sword for him. But he's going to have to be really careful with his health here in Thieves Town. All of these horse heads deal 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, and since but he did just get blue mail, so that might help a little bit. Or no, that was Zaphod that found that.
Yeah, Zaphod rocking the suave blue Luigi at the moment.
Maniacal taking advantage of that powder, takes out the bunny beam or was it and gets his health back. So that was a smart play.
Yeah, putting that powder to work immediately.
There's the big key. We still got one more chest to check before we start heading to the back, and we find the shovel.
Yeah, the first so now we have 2 fetch quest items, one in the powder and one in the shovel. So we'll see where those lead. The possibility of nested fetch quests, another one of my favorite things as a commentator, going down.
Hashtag fetch quest. Maniacal now working his way into the back end of Thieves Town. Zaphod going to check what Maniacal's already checked in Skull Woods. He's not going to find much there, unfortunately. But again, being that Skull Woods is a crystal dungeon, you know, you're going to have to come back here eventually anyway.
Yeah, version 26 was huge on Skull Woods items. I haven't been following as much with version 27 to see if the correlation is still there, but I always like to dip into Skull Woods when I can pull it off.
Indeed, I believe the percentage of finding progression items in Skull Woods has been reduced with version 27 logic, but it not like by any huge amount. So it's still a very high play.
Yeah, version 26 was something huge, like 40+% that you find a progression item there at some point, with or without the fire rod. So glad to see that toned down a little bit, but Zaphod certainly isn't right now as he goes to check the back here.
The Maniacal in trouble again. He needs to be very careful once more. Those lizards can also do a lot of damage with green mail, so if he takes a hit now, it'll be costly. But looks like he'll at least get the blind hole opened up, so that won't be too bad if he can at least get that taken care of before he heads downstairs. And he's also taking time to kill those little buggers and got a little extra health for his trouble, so he's in safe position now.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit cautious there. My motto is the fastest way through a dungeon is the one that doesn't kill you.
Pretty much.
Same with the boss fights too. I know that Maniacal's definitely going to be taking it cautious with the boss fights, with the deaths in the last round. So we'll see how this goes.
Yep, Zaphod also checking the bumper cave. It was $50 on the bumper cave, so yeah, I don't blame them for going for that. Now we still got a couple more chests, still a few more items hiding around. We know actually we have a small key, so we know there's going to be a potential item in the mage chest, but he's opting to go for the big chest first. Interesting routing.
I kind of like it because you can only have to lift the big rock once.
That's true. Only finding the big key. Zaphod now going to check the graveyard cave.
This location is kind of out of the way, so if this pays off for him, Maniacal might take a while to get there.
Yeah, the only time you'd really route this in is if you could also check the King's Tomb, but you need the boots for that, so this is a really odd routing choice, but let's see. And he gets a shield upgrade.
That's our second, putting us one closer to that wonderful riot shield. It's a ridiculous-looking sprite, but it's super helpful walking around.
Oh, absolutely. And Maniacal, I think, only found the compass in the main chest. So I believe Blind does have the last item.
It's a very important fight here against Blind with Greenmail. Those heads doing 2 hearts of damage and the fireballs doing 1. So Blind can get chaotic pretty quick if you lose control of them. Let's see how it goes.
Oh yeah, I've had experience trying to fight Blind and with only green mail, though I at least had Butter Sword, but even that was not enough. The damage was just too overwhelming. So yeah, you got to be a real expert player to be able to take on Blind with only green mail. So let's see how Maniacal does. Meanwhile, Zaphod is working his way over to Catfish. He's going to check to see what that has and probably route Zora in while he's over there.
All right, Maniacal makes it through the blind fight just fine. And what item do we get? Another
Tempered!
sword!
Oh! Not bad at all. No progression items, but hey, Tempered Sword, I will take it.
Yeah, Tempered Sword is a huge step up from the Master Sword. It makes it much easier to kill the enemies in the Dark World that are much tougher.
And we got a bee in the bottle from the catfish. So that means Sick Kid is now available. He might check that while he's on his way in through Village of Outcasts. But let's see what's in the Waterfall of Wishing. Since he has those flippers, he can check that now. Another bee in a bottle.
2 bees. Not the bees, guys.
Not the bees. Ah! Where's V-Torp when you need him?
V-Torp needs to get in the chat right now and get
Seriously.
the 4 bee hype going. We got the dream alive of all 4 bottle bees.
Indeed. 5-bomb upgrade on the Zora ledge, so not going to be getting that, but let's see what the big fish has. Is it going to be life lesson, love lesson, or worth?
So just as a comment, I really like Zaphod's routing here. The way that he's progressed through the Dark World, working in Catfish and then Zora and Waterfall of Wishing has been really efficient so far.
Indeed. And the logic has kind of opened up, so there's really no one. Oh, Fire Rod from the frickin' Zora!
Wow, that is really, really big. So that Randomizer getting me back mini commentator's curse for writing off Zora earlier.
And both of us, and I think we both suffered from a case of what I like to call foot and mouth disease.
Yeah, and Chad having a good point. How did Zora pull that fire rod up from underneath the water? It's very weird.
Yeah, it's very much so. But nonetheless, $500 for a fire rod. You know what? For an item like that, I'd pay 500 rupees.
Heck yeah, I mean, Fire Rod is one of the most powerful attack items in the game, and makes short work of a lot of bosses. Alright, so Maniacal going to check the dig spot, making use of this shovel here.
Yep. Not only finding a 5-arrow upgrade for his troubles, unfortunately.
Hopefully now he's going to take this route back to Palace of Darkness and clean up Eastern Palace, the part of it that he left behind earlier. Instead, opting to go south here.
Yeah, he's going to make the play. He's taking the gamble on Swamp Palace.
Actually, he has all of the items necessary to complete this, so not much of a gamble here, since Swamp Palace is a crystal and he will need to complete it anyway. However, it will be interesting to see whether or not he decides to go left or not. I very much do not like going left in Swamp Palace. It is such a huge time sink. I'd rather just collect the crystal and go.
Meanwhile, Zaphod now making his way to finishing up Skull Woods here, hoping he can find something there. Honestly, I hope they find the Book of Medora, because you know what he will do if he does.
Oh yes, we will know exactly what is going on at the pedestal.
That would be amazing if we can get a pedestals check. 2 pedestal seeds in a row. Can we have that dream, please? I'd love that dream.
The part of it, I mean, we all know the best part about pedestal is the pedestal height. So part of me wants him to not find the book and leave it as an unknown.
Ooh, blind pedestal hype. That gets the chat going.
The book is still live as a potential item if the book leads to a progression item.
That's also very true. That's where the potential trolling comes down to. And I know our audience loves to find like the longest chain of trollage they can come up with based on what we have. And there's still a decent amount of trollage to be found here.
Yeah, we can never get enough randomizers, so anything that extends the game and lets us watch these runners continue to play is great.
All right, Zaphod now. Yeah, Zaphod gonna head into Mothula here. He's only got fighter sword, so it's gonna be a little tricky. He's gonna have to rely on his fire rod and maybe his hammer to do his damage. But he looks like he's opting for a little bit of spin strats too.
Oh, he's unleashing the bees. Here we go.
B strats. Oh, again, Vitor would be proud.
I always like seeing the bees attack Mothula. It's like they're betraying him. Like
Betrayal!
Insect on insect violence. Getting really low on hearts here. Mothula not really cooperating, staying on that north wall.
Nope, a lot of spike protection there. And he's running low on health, down to 1 heart. He needs to be very careful here. This is going to be a clutch fight here. Can he pull it off?
And he gets it.
Clutch. That is clutch. And there's the big key. So he's going to check the chest in the back there. And then and if he doesn't find anything there, he's going to head over to the big chest and see what he can get from that.
Yeah, that was absolutely a clutch fight, and those bees played no small part in it. So thank you, Vitor.
Oh, he is opting not to check the chest in the back.
He may have already found both items. I'm not entirely sure which were found.
That's true, and if he did, then he won't even bother checking the big chest. Oh, no, he didn't check. He's going back.
Yeah, this chest is a bit of a pain to check, but when you have the mirror, it's not so bad.
No.
And Maniacal opting to go left in Swamp Palace, it appears. We'll see what that left side has to pay off for him.
Well, at this point, again, we're still pretty early on. I mean, we're only 30 minutes into this race, and there's a lot of items left to find. You don't want to risk go-moding a dungeon until you know for sure, and I did not see what Zaphod just found.
Zaphod just found 10 arrows, so I believe that's the end for Skullwoods. Also, I feel like you're heavily underestimating my disdain for left side swamp.
That's your disdain, and I can understand it. Left side is a pain. Oh, the single arrow! And a 5-arrow upgrade. So, again, I could understand your disdain for left side swamp, but again, at this point in the race, you can't pass up potential progression items. We have so many left to find.
I'm a gambling man, Shades. I'll make that potential all the time in order to save that 2 minutes that Maniacal just spent getting an arrow and an arrow upgrade.
Yeah, but what would have happened if it was something like the Cane of Samaria or the Flute? You know, you don't want to risk that. I've seen so many runs get ruined because you missed that one chest you didn't think was going to have anything, and it ended up having exactly what you're looking for. That is Randomizer in a nutshell.
Well, it happens to me, but it just makes me want to gamble more.
Remind me never to take you to Vegas.
Point taken. All right, so we're now on the backside. Maniacal again having a little trouble with his health. With the Argus fight, puffs and hits from Argus both deal 2 hearts of damage with green mail, which he still has. So again, hopefully pull some hearts from the back here and make things a bit safer.
True. Thankfully, he does have Tempered Sword, which means destroying those puffs will be a little bit easier for him. And hopefully Zaphod does grab those. He goes through these down soon and gets those. There's the lamp for Zaphod. Nope, there's the heart he needs. And a heart container. That's always nice to find. What else do we got here? There's the big keys. You gonna check the big chest? Yes, he is.
Yeah, Maniacal taking no chances. Oh, nope, going back down. Maybe just farming that enemy for a potential heart.
Maybe. Make up your mind there, Maniacal. You're confusing us. And there's the burrito.
Yeah, and you can see that he's very aware of his health situation here. Taking the pots, taking no chances.
Can't say I blame him. Meanwhile, Zaphod making his play on Thieves Town. He's gonna find at least a couple sword upgrades. He won't be too upset about that, at least.
So once Zaphod completes Thieves Town here, we will have 3 crystals for Zaphod, and assuming no shenanigans go on, 3 crystals for Zaphod and 2 for Maniacal, with Maniacal still needing to clean up Eastern Palace at some point.
Thankfully, Eastern Palace is not a difficult dungeon to double dip, so that won't hurt him too badly. But every second counts when you got racers as good as this.
Very tense Argus fight, handling it pretty well, taking those puffs from a distance, again playing it safe to avoid that death and deep in a dungeon.
Yep, and he's going to use the spin strats with his tempered sword. 2 swings of that, and he is down. That takes care of Argus, and he gets the compass, which means I believe the last item is on the big chest. He may have to double dip.
Yeah, that big key chest is actually just about as quick to, because of those long screen transitions with the steps, is just about as quick to just go back into the dungeon to get as it is to come back up from downstairs. So not really a lot of time lost there. I am very curious to see what is in this big key chest, though.
Indeed.
Swamp having very nearly nothing for Maniacal.
Kind of disappointing. I want to take this time to remind you folks, if you're enjoying our runners, be sure to give both Maniacal42 and Zafob Rebo Brox 4 a follow on Twitch. Show your support because they're putting all this on for you. So definitely give them the love. All right, what's in the big chest? And it's just a big 20.
So I believe Swamp Palace had nothing in the way of help or progression items. That's a huge blow to Maniacal after taking that dip to go through the entire way.
Yeah, that full clear did not pay off for him. Though again, this early on, if Zaphod goes into Swamp anytime soon, I don't think it'll be a significant time loss for him because, well, they're both probably going to end up full clearing it.
Yeah, it feels like after that really quick start, it's been forever since we pulled a progression item, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd say Shade Seed confirmed at this point.
So what will the next progression item be then?
That is a very good question.
I'm feeling Titan's Mitt.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think Titan's Mitt's a good call because you kind of need that before long, with all the dungeons we've yet to fulfill.
Yeah, but let's get it from the mushroom. Let's send him a little bit further along.
Oh, you've got to troll him. You can't make it that easy. Come on. And our tracker Terror in the chat saying boots.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that too. Boots really separates the good runners from the bad in terms of how optimally you use those boots to get through the overworld.
They're a little tricky to master, but if you can master using the boots properly, it can make your run super fast. So definitely a very good item for pro runners like these guys.
Yeah, it's about this point in the seed that I'm pretty sick of walking around too, so definitely like to see some dashing.
Maniacal opting to use the mirror here to check the hobo. We have not checked this yet, so this should be interesting to see what we find. What does this old hobo have? Just a piece of heart.
Zaphod going into the blind fight. He seems pretty well equipped for this fight and is following the script to a T. This is a wonderful blind fight so far.
Yeah, if you can move around properly, you can put blind into a script that will make him very easy. And Zaphod pulls it off beautifully, gets his tempered sword, so that puts him at 3 crystals. Maniacal now heading over to Pod. He's going to check that out. He's got the means to full clear it. He's got the bow. He's got the hammer. He's got the lamp. So why not? So he's going to pay a visit. Everyone's favorite extortionist, Kiki the monkey. 110 rupees plus down the drain.
Yeah, and even when Zora rips you off, at least he gives you something. Kiki just flipping a switch that, I feel like someone with Link skill could probably just hit with a bow and arrow or something. Just knock that switch down.
No kidding. Yeah, this monkey's a ripoff. Zavon now going to head over to the Batcave. We'll see if that has anything for him as Maniacal now heads into the Palace of Darkness.
I do not believe we've seen the Batcave from either runner yet, so let's see what these weird lightning bolts give us.
And we have Just a big 20.
So at this point, it's appearing that Pod is going to be pretty loaded. They don't have a whole ton of other places to go, though I guess Zaf can head over to Ice Palace as soon as he gets his Titans bits. Yeah, we're pretty much locked out of most things except for Pod, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Pod is the play to make. And with this, Maniacal can also reroute Eastern Palace, thus salvaging a little bit of time that he lost not clearing it earlier.
Yeah, a quick back-to-back here could really make up some of that lost time for that failed Dark Room earlier.
Ooh, Terra pointing out neither of our runners have checked Death Mountain yet, and they have full access to it at this point. That is a weird thing to miss out on.
I don't think they have a huge amount of incentive to go up Death Mountain, though. There's 2 pendant dungeons up there. There is 7 items, but in my experience, the more patience you spend going up Death Mountain, the more completely you can clear it on your first go, and the less you have to climb.
There's a lot more than 7 items up there. You've got 7 from the Paradox Cave, you've got the Spiral Cave, you've got the Spike Cave, and then you've got Dark Death Mountain as well, which you might be able to route into some respect.
That is true. So, I mean, a lot of items being hung up to dry there, but as long as you have crystals to clear, those dungeon items can be really big. So we'll see how we go as soon as we get to the party part of Mullet Mansion here in a second.
Shout out to Dr. Bob Tastic for coining the Mullet Mansion, because all the keys are in the front, all the items in the back. Business in the front, party in the back. And it looks like Zaphod now also making the play on Pod. So they're going to start converging here a little bit. And let's see if this is the right play to make.
And Maniacal opting to mirror out, wanting absolutely no part of these beetles in this room, and I don't blame him.
They're never fun to deal with.
If I got bombos, I'm torching those guys. No questions asked.
Fortunately, we don't have that luxury here, so Maniacal going to head downstairs, check out this particular dark room. 2 more chests to find. What's hiding back here in the back of Pod? You've got triple bombs on the right side. Left side has just a burrito.
Yeah, they're going for full burrito clears here, so... As part of playing the seed with Zaphod Beeblebrox here, though, I think we should probably rename the burritos to towels, since it's very important to not go anywhere in the galaxy without a towel.
You are absolutely right.
So the more towels that are found in the seed, the more it favors Zaphod, definitely.
Only there was enough for the magic number to be 42, right? Which is also Maniacal's name, that I realize.
Oh my god, this is really happening. Answer to life, the universe, and everything, but not the answer to where Ganon's big key is.
Piece of heart from the big chest. Maniacal gonna warp back to the beginning and work his way up to take on the Helmasaur King.
And the lack of progression items continues. Hopefully Helmasaur is actually hiding something for us so that we can get on.
Oh, there is one chest that Maniacal did not check, which is that central chest there that you see on screen. If that has something, that was a bit out of the way to get it, but hey, in this case, it might pay off. I don't know if Zaphod checked it either.
Yeah, they'll both be coming back for it, so we'll see.
Nope, piece of heart.
And more health. They're already up to... Maniacal's sitting on 12 hearts at the moment. So very, very healthy seed, despite the fact that he's still in green mail. And on our way back to Helmasaur. Now, I think Maniacal will be fine in this fight. With Torch, we don't have to worry about Turtle Room. But this was a fight that did not go well for Maniacal in the last race. So let's see if he can improve on it here and continue to keep pace with Zaphod.
Indeed, he's looking for redemption here. Especially since right now Zaphod is up one in the first race. So he wants to try to get that second race so they can go to a round 3.
And based on the way this race has gone so far, I definitely want to see a round 3 between these runners. They are, besides the one dark room early on, they've been keeping step for step.
For a moment there, I thought Zaphod was going to go for bomb strats with a bomb jump over there to the big chest, but I guess not. But that's all right. That's not going to cost him too much time.
Yeah, that bomb jump has some utility for a couple of reasons. You can use it to shortcut a key by mirroring out before you get to the key door if you treat it as your last item. But once you have the mirror, it doesn't save a ton of time to complete that hammer jump. Maniacal clearing the turtles no problem and on his way over to the Helmasaur King fight.
Yep, 17 whacks with a hammer and a few good swings with the tempered sword. I think Maniacal has in good shape here. He just has to be very careful.
I always wonder why they chose 17.
I know, right? Like, who decided that was the magic number?
If it's a Nintendo game, why not like 3 or a multiple of 3, like 30 or something?
Well, 30 might be a little excessive, but 15 I think would have been a better choice.
Yeah, 15 instead of 17. Oh, and Helmasaur King is down. Let's see what item he drops.
Titan's mitts!
There's our mitts. There we go. And the seed is continuing to progress. Let's now Death Mountain is looking like a great choice because in addition to all the items, you get all the Dark World items as well.
Yeah, you got the Super Bunny Cave, you got the Hookshot Cave, you know, you've got a whole bunch of places to check there. Yeah, I think Death Mountain's the play to make.
Yeah, with the gold glove there, the world is their oyster. So let's see what route divergences happen as soon as they get out of this dungeon.
But as I called it earlier, Maniacal is going to go back and full clear Eastern Palace. He needs to get that last crystal to catch up. This is Zaphod's chance to continue his lead and strengthen it because he doesn't have to go back here. He is done after this.
So, with Zaphod having the Fire Rod, we are getting pretty close to no mode here for the commentary in chat. We still need the flute, and we still need the Cane of Samaria, assuming that the Misery Maya requirement is Ether, which it may or may not be.
Yeah, at this point, we need the cane, we need the flute, potentially one medallion, and potentially the boots. Boots no, because it's a desert dependent dungeon. So not really. Then again, still potentially the boots because Big Key could be on the torch in Ganon's Tower.
Oh, I have not seen that troll yet in this tournament, in the races that I've watched. So if that happens today, what a treat.
The few times I've seen the Big Key on the torch, the boots were also in Ganon's Tower on the opposite side. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, having to hunt through Ganon's Tower and have that tension, though, makes for one heck of a race. So hopefully that situation comes to fruition.
Actually, best trolling I've ever seen was they got through Ganon's Tower, they checked all of Ganon's Tower, but they did not have the bow going in, and they got bow locked.
Oh no.
Yep, bow locked in Ganon's Tower. The second worst was when someone went in all the way through Ganon's Tower with only Fighter's Sword, hoping to find at least something in Ganon's Tower, and never did.
Oh my.
There's a clip of that.
Zaph making short work of Helmasaur King, getting his mitts, and Maniacal a little off on his Armos Knight's fight, picking up his Fisher Price sword, Fisher Price shield, my first shield.
Yep, but that puts them both pretty much back on track, and they're pretty much going to be on in sync almost after this. So this is going to be interesting to see where they go. Are they got to be in the same? Are they going the same way, or are they going to diverge? We shall see soon enough.
Now, the dangerous thing is all the signs are pointing to Death Mountain right now, which is putting Maniacal further and further away from that necessary fire rod.
That is very true.
Now, I'm going to want the fire rod to do Ice Palace as a fire source to get through it, so I might be waiting for the fire rod to go down towards that portal in Lake Hylia. So that might spell trouble for Maniacal in terms of ever coming across that in a timely fashion.
Indeed, indeed. And oh, I just realized Zaphod has defeated both Pod and Skull Wood, so he's got his big the Pyramid Fairy opened up. He's going to go check that.
Oh, and that's a huge advantage for him. If this contains a progression item, again, just really pushing the advantage of having that fire rod as much as possible. So Zaphod 2 can clear all of the dungeons except for Misery Mire. So if the required items are in Ice Palace 2, he could be going really, really quick through the seed.
Oh, Maniacal with the
go.
right play! Call Phantom Ryu, because it's got to be Kane.
Gotta love seeing that Kane. That's gotta put a smile on his face right there.
Indeed.
Unless we see in the Dark World Ether on Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we'll see. Another beat a bottle for Zaphod in the pyramid. And oh! Final sword upgrade on Spectacle Rock!
Oh my, so we're gonna be walking around with butter. And glad to see the Bee Dream still alive.
Actually, I just thought of something. The old man gave the cane of Samaria. Call that man Deckard.
There we go.
Oh. And indeed, Maniacal picking up his butter sword. That is very nice. Double checking. He's figuring, oh, I don't need to do the Tower of Heroes. I don't need to full clear it, but he is going to check it. Because if there's one thing we've learned about version 26 and version 27, pendant dungeons have items. And Zaphod going to check the dungeon area of escape. That has not been checked yet.
Yeah, 55 minutes in, and we have not been into this Sphere Zero location. So again, a little bit more completionist for Zaphod. If this pays off for him, though, that will be huge.
Maniacal also finding Big 20 and the Big Key in our first two locations here in Tower of Hero, which means if he finds one more item, he's done.
Just a quick dip here. Hopefully not needing to go fight the shoulder.
Oh, there's the flute! Flute dungeon!
Oh my!
Which means they could have found that a lot sooner if they had just done all their Sphere Zero locations early. Oh! Yeah, it is official. This is a Shade Seed, but this is a runner-induced Shade Seed because they could have done that a lot sooner.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So that's leaving. That's no mode, is it not? We now know where all the items are.
Well, potentially. We still don't know what medallion is needed for Misery Mire, but we're as close to the commentator's go mode as we can be.
I'm feeling optimistic. I'm thinking this is gonna be a straight jet seed. We're gonna be in pure go mode as soon as Zaphod gets in that cane check up on Death Mountain. At least I hope.
And Zaphod not ignoring the obvious hint here, heading back to Kakariko. While Maniacal going to be doing a very quick fight here against Trolldorm. He is not going to get the chance to troll today. Let's see what he drops. And just a compass, which means the last item's in the basement.
Oh no, that's going to be even more time away from items that, unless we find that medallion, are not required.
And even then, we may find a medallion, but it may not be the one they need.
That's true. There are two more choices. Quick and Bomba is still out there.
Now Now, what is Zaphod doing right now? He's
I am puzzled at this moment that we have not.
Oh, he's doing the frog. He's picking up Jeremiah.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, I can see this. I was really hoping for Swag Duck. We need to get some Swag Duck hype in the chat here pretty soon, but a little premature. We'll wait for it.
And Maniacal setting up his coffee break.
Going to give him a little bit of time to think about where he might go next. If he might want to go into Turtle Rock, if it's happening. This time aside is always good for me when I run, just to really get my thoughts in order about what's happened.
Yeah, Zaphod doing the slow route with the Peg Cave. Let's see if this pays off for him. Nope, triple bombs. Not what he was looking for. And half magic in Tower of Hera, not required, but always nice to find.
Yeah, that half magic can be a real boon as you move later into the run against some of the more difficult bosses, especially with that cape in fighting Vitreous.
All right, so Maniacal now heading into the East Death Mountain area. We've got at least 8 potential items here because we've got the Spiral Cave and we've got the Paradox Cave. 50 rupees on the floating island, and he's actually going straight to the Dark World. He is going to check what Turtle Rock's medallion is.
I would be very curious too, because if it's Ether, that Ether medallion was gotten fairly early, so signs would be pointing them here, despite the fact that it's pendant. It is not.
Yep, it is Quake. Also, Rise for the Link to the Past, Lash, and Anthem on Zaphod's side. He is activating his flute. And ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose!
Swag Duck hype, folks. And we are going straight to Misery Mire, it appears.
I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, no, he's dropping that purple chest first. Not finding much in the hookshot cave, but then again, we're not expecting to find much else at this rate. Again, the only thing we're really looking for are the medallions and potentially Das Boots. We're still waiting for those.
Well, this is dangerous for Maniacal in that he's checking all these locations, but it's also dangerous for Zaph if Misery Mire is Ether and he decides to dip it.
Well, let's find out. He's checking now. What's Misery Mire's medallion? It is Bombos!
Oh, wow.
So the one medallion they have found is the one that's not required for either dungeon. That is cruel.
Such a tease, this seed.
Red mail in the Mire Shack.
Oh, I love the pink Luigi sprite too. Modeled after the Smash Brothers hue of pink that Luigi wears. So, and Zaphod going to a desert here. It looks like he might be taking a quick dip over here.
Yep, $20 on the desert ledge, so he's going to head inside. Now, this is a crystal dungeon. However, it is also green pendant, or I say it's a pendant dungeon, but it's also green pendant. So this might be the one dungeon the one pendant dungeon they opt to full clear because their Haslam may have something. We shall see. But first, let's check the torch. Big 20 on the torch, which means boots not required. Zaphod gonna be happy to see that. I'm sure.
And for a good while, I'd been writing off Pedestal, but with Bombos being missing, we really don't know. I mean, maybe it is there.
Potentially, we shall see. But let's see what the Paradox Cave has to hide. 7 good items here. Well, there's your. Should have just say something.
Commentator's curse working for the good.
Commentator's blessing, more like it. He also found the mushroom in there as well. Yeah. Putting mouth disease again there, Barnage.
putting my beginner's luck in commentary to good work.
Indeed.
So that's,
anyway,
that is absolute no mode for us then.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's no mode. Or commentator's go mode if you want to make it a little more clear for everybody.
Yeah, so we in the chat, we in commentary know where all the items are. So as soon as Zaphod decides to go up Death Mountain and get that cane and Bombos medallion, he will be in go mode.
And the question is, will Zaphod opt to full clear desert and go for that green pen? No, he is not.
And chat making the good point, Maniacal needs to get over to that Zora location yesterday in order to get himself back in this race, because there's no way that Zaphod is skipping Death Mountain.
Yeah, the longer Maniacal goes without that fire rod, the more of a lead Zaphod takes. Hard container in the checkerboard cave, but he is not opting to pick that up. And I think Maniacal is heading to Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fine call. Everything that Maniacal's doing makes sense in the context of what he knows, but not in the context of what we know, unfortunately.
It's not a bad call, it's just the wrong call. That's what it is.
And that's how Rando goes sometimes.
Five bomb upgrade over to Naganis Cave. Not much there. Again, we pretty much know all the essential locations, so we're not going to find much in most of these places. Especially now since we know where Red Mail is as well. The only thing we could possibly find at this point is the riot shield.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny to see Zaphod on full red mail while Maniacal is apparently still walking around in green. Did he ever get that blue mail?
No, he did not.
It's difficult to see with the only the eyes being the only indicator on the Dark Link sprite what the mail is.
Zaphod now going to pick up old Deckard here, as I said earlier, because, yeah, we know what he's carrying, and, Zaphod going to be ecstatic to see that.
He'll be one item closer to go mode. And another advantage that he will have is he will be able to, he's not done Swamp Palace yet, he will be able to go mode Swamp Palace, saving several minutes over Maniacal's route of Swamp Palace.
Indeed, Maniacal now just picking up his blue mail from the back end of Escape. So he's finally got his mail upgrade right when he needs it most.
And Zaphod slowly creeping towards that Bombos medallion is going to be able to just zip through these remaining dungeons. He's got basically the 3 crystal dungeons that are best to do in go mode.
Yeah, this could not have worked out any better for Zaphod to be able to just go mode those dungeons, clear them out quickly. This is his race at this point. Unless he makes a very critical error, he will be able to finish this race with no trouble, which for runners is great. You know, being a runner, you want to go through as quick as you can, but for us, you know, it takes a lot of the fun out of it because, you know, we want to see them get trolled. We want to see them have to work.
Well, that's not to take anything away from Zaph either. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you make your own luck, right? And his routing was really efficient throughout the entire game. So, oh no, Maniacal looking like he's going towards Ice Palace.
Oh no, he's got the bomb, so he can't full clear it, but he's figuring he'll find the ice rod inside, which we know he will not.
Yeah, so the more dungeon locations he checks here, the further behind he's going to fall Zaph's eventual go mode of this dungeon.
Speaking of Zaphod's going to be running through Tower of Hera. This could have cost him time, but considering that Maniacal already did it as well, it won't cost him too much.
Yeah, and if Maniacal's feeling especially intrepid, you know, go mode is just a state of mind. He could skip the item locations here. Go straight for Cold Stare and then decide to come back, which would be a good play, but a huge gamble on his part if he decides to. You never know, perhaps feeling a little bit behind after that early exit of Eastern Palace, he might decide to make that play.
And also we should remember that even if once Zaphod finds that Bombos medallion, this will be Schrodinger's go mode because we do not know where the big key is, and if it is on that torch, then he will be boots locked, and we have not found the boots yet, so we're still technically not in full go mode yet.
Well, we did talk about that as being a possibility early on, so if you want to see excitement, that's about as exciting as it gets. So
that would be the final.
Hope and pray.
That would be the final trolling right there. Though I do agree with Epibliticos, you know, we don't want these guys to intentionally troll themselves. We want to see smart writing and execution. We want the trolling to come from the game itself, not from the runners. We want the runners to be really good. So don't mistake me. And these guys are doing a really good job. It's just, you know, when you've got runners this good, it's about what gambles do you make and which ones pay off.
Yeah, and just in this race so far, as far as routing decisions go, everything coming up Zaf.
One benefit that Zaphod has going into the basement of Hera, though, is he will pick up that half magic, which will come in handy for some of these upcoming bosses, especially Ice Palace. You know, having to rely a lot on magic and Ice Palace, having half magic going in is very helpful. Maniacal also having that luck as well.
Yeah, both should be able to make pretty short work of Cold Stare. The Maniacal lacking the Fire Rod may have a little harder time of it. Again, Butter Sword there is really nice as well.
All right, let's see what else Maniacal finds here in the Ice Palace. There's the burrito, not what he was hoping for, I'm sure.
More towels coming up for Zaphod.
Yep, more towels. Gotta love more towels.
Though he'll be skipping that towel, so that could give Maniacal a towel advantage.
On Zaphod opting to do Spike Cave first, that's an odd call to make.
Yeah, and we know this isn't going to pay off for him, though I guess he's trying to get the save and quit, get a life refresh before going over to the east side, which makes some sense. I hear calls in here for a Barnage seed, though. Since this is my first one, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, you want to explain what a Barnage seed is? Because even I don't know, and I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the different seed types.
SNT has watched, Super Nintendo has watched a lot of my runs, so a Barnage seed would be one in which they fail at throwing bombs. That is the bane of my existence in this game. Alright, so Maniacal continuing his full clear of Ice Palace. Unfortunately, none of these items are going to turn up anything good for him. He still needs to find that flute, and he still needs to find that Fire Rod as soon as possible. And Zaphod, we could have that Bombos any minute. Hopefully we catch it here in just a second.
Yeah, because I gotta make the call. I gotta do my thing.
We gotta have a go mode call. It wouldn't be a randomizer seed without it.
There he goes. He's in the Paradox Cave. He just checked it, so he's got his Bombos medallion. He's heading out. Yeah, I think we can call it. Ladies and gentlemen, Zaphod Beaver 4 has entered a Schrodinger's Go Mode!
At an hour and 10 minutes, so this is going to be a very fast finish to this seed, too, with the dungeons that are remaining.
No kidding.
We could potentially, depending on the big key placement, see a sub 130 seed. Very fast in terms of completion of this game on average.
Okay, funny enough, Zaphod turned in his mushroom, but didn't opt to pick up what it had.
I think he did it by force of habit, and then realized that he was in go mode, and he didn't really care what the mushroom was, unless it's boots.
That would be cruel. That would be trolly, severe trolliness, especially if again, Ganon's Tower Big Key is on the torch.
And there's our Ice Rod. trolling us, but for all the wrong reasons, because no one really cares about Turtle Rock at this point.
Nope, Ice Rod, but funny enough, Ice Rod and Ice Palace. What are the odds?
How fitting. This room with the fire bar and the penguins and the ice is my least favorite room in the whole game. It's so easy to just run into spikes and just take so much time in that room. We're about to see a cold stare fight from Maniacal. With the Butter Sword, you should make short work of him, but let's see how it goes. And chat pointing out that Maniacal has good potential to, as soon as he leaves this Ice Palace dungeon, take that portal up to Zora, seeing as how he's not found anything, which would put him in go mode as well. Oh, minus the flute. I'm sorry, he still needs the flute from Escape.
He still needs the flute from Escape.
So Zaf having a clear advantage here, but this is Rando. Anything can happen.
Never count a runner out until you see a dot done. That's what we say.
It's true. Zaphod making very short work of Ice Palace here, making a successful Ice Palace bomb jump, and on his way straight down to Cold Stare. None of the items, locations that Maniacal has checked will be checked.
We know that won't hurt him at all. Maniacal now heading up to Ice Rod Cave. I don't think that's been checked yet.
No, this is a relative unknown, so let's see what's here.
I'm going to laugh if it's the boots. I really am. Though Super Nintendo suggests that it may be silvers. We still haven't found those. Actually, no, wait. Zaphod has those, apparently. Yeah, he does, because it's showing on a thing. Yeah, he has silvers. Where did you get those at?
There it is.
Oh, they were in Ice Rod Cave. Wow.
Chat
That's a silly question.
Chat doing a great job of being eyes on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that he had the silvers when he fought the Armos Knights, when he fought Helmasaur King and was able to one-shot him. But I did not see where he picked them up, so thank you, Super and Taylor, for coming up with that one.
Yeah.
And Beeblebrock's heading into the Cold Stare fight here, so let's see how this goes for him.
Probably not much worse off than what Maniacal did. Oh, he had him in the corner there for a second. But with Butter Sword, he should have no problem clearing through this fight. And meanwhile, Maniacal finally making the play on Zora. He's gonna be kicking himself when he finds out what's waiting for him.
This Fire Rod is then going to send him over to Skull Woods, likely sending him again away from Escape. Zaphod having a little more completion of the overworld really paid off for him in this seed hugely. So Zaphod, where is he going next? He is going to do Swamp Palace in Go mode, which is super duper quick.
Yeah, no reason not to at this point. And after this, all he's got left is Misery Mire. So he's got a pretty good lead right now because Maniacal still has Skull Woods as well as Misery Mire. Neither of those dungeons are going to be hard to clear and go, and essentially in Go mode, though Maniacal not going to be in full Go mode yet because he still needs to find those that flute.
That is
That's
true.
going to cost some time.
Another fun subtlety of that Luigi sprite, him putting on that snorkel when he goes into the water.
The amazing work that these sprite creators have made with some of these sprites is just, it blows my mind. One of my favorites from version that was introduced recently in version 27 is someone made Will from Illusion of Gaia. that has become my new preferred sprite because I love that game, and anytime it gets represented, I will be all for it.
Yeah, an explosion of new sprites here in version 27. Cactuar being my favorite, certainly. Those arm motions just get me every time. The Maniacal heading up to Skullwoods, as predicted. He will be clearing the locations here, still looking for that flute.
That flute is going to be the critical item for Maniacal because he does not know where it is, and the longer he goes without it, the easier it's going to be, more of a lead Zaphod's going to have going into Misery Mire.
Oh no, I guess it's not a potential danger because as soon as he gets the flute, he'll be in go mode and he can't get to Misery Mire before that. I was gonna say he would dip into Misery Mire, but that would be impossible without the flute. So
exactly. All right, since we're seeing a lot of familiar, similar locations on both sides here, and here's another reminder we like to have. If you're enjoying this race so far, don't forget to follow all of our channels. We've got ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4 for our secondary tournament. But we also have Speed Gaming 1 through 4 where our main tournament is being held. You definitely don't want to miss that on that. As a matter of fact, I'm checking my schedule right now. I think we just finished up a little while ago a race at 10 o'clock. But we had tomorrow morning, first thing, 10 o'clock, we've got Sir Nico and Mechanics racing on Speed Gaming 2. You don't want to miss that. Meanwhile, on our secondary tournament, we've got a race at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon between I'm Hugh Bliss and Futon. So definitely don't miss out on that. I don't know if that one's getting streamed or not, but most likely it will be. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, we have 4 Link to the Past Randomizer channels, 4 Speed Gaming channels. We have Randomizer Mania. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, if you're a fan of randomizers of any kind, these channels are the place to hang because we've got more randomizer than you can possibly handle.
I know several times I've seen 3-4 races going on at the same time and just decision paralysis sets in. You're like, where do I go?
No kidding.
Michael picking up his crystal from Mothula, having a very clean fight there. Buttersword really helping out, doing some quick work of Mothula, and Beeblebrock's about to go in to finish off Argus.
Yep, but here's the difference. Maniacal does not know where the flute is, so he's going to have to spend time looking for that. Meanwhile, Zaphod, he knows exactly where he's going when he's done. He's going to go right over to Misery Mire and clear that in go mode. So the advantage is definitely on Zaphod.
So a big help here for Maniacal would be if that big key in Misery Mire is hidden deep. Maniacal may be able to make a gamble and go get it a little bit sooner, whereas Zaphod will probably follow a pretty standard route through Misery Mire. So if we see early big key here, like in the first 2 locations, that definitely favors Zaphod because he'll just go straight for the end.
All right, Maniacal heading down. This is not the right call. I think, where is he? Oh, he's going to check the Big Pyramid Ferry.
Again, just having access to that, it seems like a fine call based on what he knows.
Yeah, but
hopefully he routes this into Hyrule Castle though.
If he does, he might be able to salvage this. Otherwise, this will be the wrong call to make. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Zaphod heading into Mire for his final dungeon. It's almost that time.
A little too early to be placing bets for Ganon's Tower, but it's coming soon. So start thinking about it at least.
Start thinking about how trolly Ganon's Tower is going to be tonight.
We still have one available troll. It's always the last one too. Zaphod having very clean execution here, in this first room, which can be quite a hassle if you miss the Wizrobe cycles, and doing it very, very cleanly. Maniacal picking up his B, getting even on B, not quite even on Bs. He's still missing a B. According to our tracker.
Yeah, he missed one, I think.
Important things.
All right, so let's see what we find here. There's the Quake medallion.
I don't think they'll be putting that to use.
No, I don't think so either.
But Maniacal going into Hyrule Castle, so he will be in go mode here very, very soon, and will be racing to Misery Mire to catch up to Zaphod.
And considering we haven't found the big key yet in Misery Mire, this is Maniacal's chance to potentially catch up here.
It's very much going to depend on the routing. And then, obviously, there's left or right side Ganon's Tower as well.
Oh yeah, that could make a difference too.
Maniacal has been known to gamble in Ganon's Tower too, with one of his races, him doing Tile Room prior to some other locations and it paying off the big key. So
I've seen that happen a lot more often than it probably should, because that's the third time I've heard about something. That's the second. I've seen that happen twice, and that's the third time I've heard about something like that happening.
Maniacal is officially in go mode at 1:23 approximately, but he's still going.
He wants to make sure he's got all the items because he doesn't want to accidentally leave those boots behind.
That is true. Also, he does not know what the Misery Mire requirement is yet.
That's also very true. And he doesn't know that the last medallion he needs is in Misery Mire. Oh, that's twisting the knife.
So he's also still going to go get the swag duck too. So he's going there as fast as he can, but still losing time with Zaphod well on his way through this dungeon.
And it seems the big key in Mire is being rather trolly, so that gives Maniacal a chance. But then again, it could also mean he's going to take just as long. So it's still not safe to say this is his guaranteed chance to catch up.
It all comes down to gambles. With that flute, he has to feel like he's behind. Absolutely has to feel like he's behind, since it's in Sphere 0 was his go mode item.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the big key in its vanilla location.
That's the right kind of vanilla. Right behind those torches where no one wants to go.
Yep. But that also means he can warp directly to the big door, so he can go right on his way. And he's getting trolled by the anti-fairy there.
Yeah, losing some magic, but with red mail and access to the powder and the huge number of anti-fairies that are in this dungeon, his life total is not a huge concern.
No, not at all. Maniacal now turning in his bottle while he's in town. Wasting more time. You are in go mode. Finish it.
He's got to get there. He's going to be there soon. As soon as
he's on his way now.
Yep.
He's on his way.
Maniacal fighting for his tournament life here, so every decision he makes from here that is going to be critical to getting him to catch up. And he sees it, and there he goes, right into Mire.
No more wasting time for him. He's gonna be he's happy to see that he's got what he needs. Zaphod grabbing a fairy with the bug net. He is getting some safeties. Not a bad idea, even though, because he doesn't have as much health as Maniacal, even though he's got red mail to back up. Having a little extra protection, not always a bad idea.
Yeah, he got that flute pretty late too, so not being able to see Maniacal's progress, he might feel like he's a little behind, but with that fairy stop, it seems to me that he's pretty confident where he is.
So now he's on to his fight with Vitreous. With silver arrows, this bias will not be that difficult at all. One shot for each eye and two more for the big eye. And he gets through it blazing fast. Goodbye, Vitreous.
completing the 360 no-scope strats and getting a towel as a reward.
How appropriate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, we have a little game we like to play. For those of you who are not new here, you know what time it is. There are 22 possible item locations inside of Ganon's Tower where the big key could be hiding. Where do you think it's going to be? Maximum Barnage, where do you think that big key's hiding?
Ooh, I'm going to go for 3. I want to see that troll.
You're hoping for the torch, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm hoping for 2 items on the right side, go left, find that big key sitting right there on the torch staring at him.
No, oh, he's gonna check the mushroom. Only a big 20. He's also gonna pick up another bottle of blue goo, just be safe. You know what? I'm with you. I want to see the big key on the torch and the boots not in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, did we see Zaph's rupee count there? Look at his rupee count.
Oh shoot, he actually zeroed out.
He got in for exacties on that blue bottle. No change required.
Yeah. Oh, and poor Terry in the chat, he's like, and I want to go to sleep. We all do, Terry, but we still want to have some fun before we go. We want to go out with a bang, dang it.
Yeah, we want some more hype before we go to sleep.
That's the whole reason I signed up for this race, is because I have some hype to get out of my system, and I know you guys want some of that. Oh, that's true. He's way out there. It's 6:30 in the morning for him.
Oh my. We'll get through this race eventually, Ter. Only 12:30 a.m. for me.
Same here.
There's Zaph making his way over to the east side of Death Mountain, coming up this way rather than going through Turtle Rock, and still checking for items, though I can't imagine what he'd be looking for with red mail and silver arrows and powder.
I'd guess some last-minute health. That's the only thing I can think of.
Again, maybe just force of habit. It's really easy to fall back into checking those item locations.
Or he could be double-checking for those boots. He knows those boots are still out there, and he wants to make sure he has them.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah, we've been talking about it, but again, only a 1 out of 22 chance that the Ganon's Tower will be boot locked.
Yeah, though, true trolliness. Boots, or torch on, big key on torch, forced to go into Turtle Rock, all the way to Laser Bridge to find the Book of Medora, boots on one of the tablets. Or even better, boots on pedestal.
Boots on pedestal. Let's see it. We're going to be seeing really soon here whether Zaph is in true go mode.
Come on, game. Give me some epic trollage here. Let's end this with a bang.
My fingers are crossed right now. I'm hoping. So Maniacal making his way to Vitreous here really soon. He will soon have his 7th crystal. And Zaphod entering at approximately 129.50. So we'll see how far behind Maniacal is when he gets there.
All right, first chest, small key. Second chest, triple bombs. Gonna check right side.
So can I change my call to 7? Because I really want to see it on that big key.
This is why I go more for specific locations than I do numbers, because with locations, you can do it that way.
Yeah, but I want to keep it fair for the chat. They have to call a number if they want to get in on that incentive, once a win with the rest of chat. So I want to keep it fair and choose location too. So mine's already done with 3. And we might not know.
Oh, yeah. According to our restreamer, Epibilicos, apparently the stream dropped on his end. I think he completely disconnected. Now, this does not mean he's out yet, because if he's still playing and he's recording it, then they can still submit it and he's still safe. So unless we confirm that he's not recording this, or we can confirm that the whole, like, his power went out or something like that, he's still eligible.
Yes, but he's keeping us in suspense here is the important
I
thing.
know, that's the oh, here we go. He found it!
He found it really quick.
Because he is already on his way up. And I did see his item screen. He has the big key. So he must have found it in the he must have found it on the right side. Which means he is in true go mode, ladies and gentlemen. Zaphod Beeblebrox on his way up the gauntlet. This is his race. The only chance Maniacal has to catch up is if he's smart enough to do the same thing and check right side first. And Zaphod gets hugged by either Trolldorm or Ganon.
Yeah, Maniacal's definitely going to need some help here, and it is definitely Zaphod's race to lose. Zaphod moving cleanly here, going to be going through Gauntlet here in just a second. With Butter Sword, should be able to make quick work of the enemies here. And the hard part here is we're not going to be able to tell a number for Ganon's Tower, I don't think. Because Maniacal might open those chests on the right side in a different order than Zaphod did.
Yeah, we cannot honestly call a number here on this case, so that's unfortunate. Thankfully, we don't. I know for a fact the ALTTP randomizer does not have the bot, so we can't do the official game. Otherwise, that would be rather mean.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll just say 3 through 7 wins.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not biased at all.
Zaphod having slight struggles there in the gauntlet, but gets through not without too much trouble. He's going to go on up to powder the bunny beam here, which will change the setup here for Landmo 2. But he's got Butter Sword, he's got Silvers, he's got Fire Rod. This is not going to be too much issue for him.
Yeah, and I like that he probably would have opted to do Silver Arrows since it's a bit quicker, but the awareness there of the cycles changing due to him getting that anti-fairy really made a difference.
Oh, and Maniacal going to check left side. This is going to cost him.
Oh, no.
And it's $50 on Bob's torch, so at the very least Bob lives today, though I doubt we're going to see him.
The best thing we can hope for is Dark Magician here. So it's interesting whether right side or left side is the gamble here. I know in the last tournament, right side was considered to be the gamble, but conventional wisdom seems to be that right side is the way to go now.
Yeah, more often than not. But nonetheless, yeah. If Maniacal was, if we were wrong and it was on left side, that's where it would have been, because with how quickly Zaphod found it. So no, it's on right side, and Maniacal's going to do full left side. That is going to cost him more time than he can afford.
Oh, and taking a fall there, unfortunately, in that left side room.
Oh, just adding to it.
Zaph getting really close. He's going to be fighting Moldorm 2 here in just a second. I still want to see the boots. Let's see those invalidation chests. What do you think is going to be?
I'm down with that. Yeah, let's have the validation chest. The last chest have something of worth. That would be hilarious. Whether it be the boots. Oh, Trolldorm! Troll's Revenge!
Trolldorm 2, Trolldormer incoming. And Trolldorm not being nice at all.
No,
really
he tried to corner them and try to get him in round 2. Oh, he is just bodying him so hard. But Zaphod is not going to let him take him down again, so he gets the second time around. And he checks the chest, and it's only 10 arrows.
Only 10 arrows in the chest, but man, that troll arm pattern was very, very cool.
Yeah, it was. There's the book in Ganon's tower.
That would have been interesting to see Book lead to Boots, lead back to Big Key, but the dream for that is dead, and Zaph is moving straight on to Aghanim 2.
I'm gonna laugh if Boots are on the pedestal. I really am.
We'll get to see that in the credits, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see how many cycles Aghanim 2 takes here.
Not having much luck early on, though this setup looks pretty nice for him. Nope, never mind. He completely whiffs 2 of them.
So we have 1, 1, 1. 1.
Yeah, he's fighting Aga 2 like it's Aga 1. There he goes. He got him. Takes down Aghanim 2, and now it's time for the Big Pig.
And with Butter Sword and Red Mail, really the only thing that Maniacal can hope for is a fall here.
Yeah, he's got Red Mail, he's got Butter Sword, he's got Silvers. You cannot ask for a better setup. And Maniacal going all the way to the Ice Armos. Even saying hi to Bob.
Gotta get some love for Bob. I'm glad to see Bob before the end of this race. Alright, cycle 1 down. 6 hits for cycle 2.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good spot there for Ganon, so that's gonna be very easy for him.
I'm just wailing on him with that cape.
And he's on to phase 3.
He's ready with his silvers. He's going to be taking him down very, very soon.
Maniacal now realizing he went the wrong direction. He went through all of that for nothing. So he's still going to have to do the right side.
And Zappa saying, yes, I did find the arrows in the light world. Thank you very much, Ganon.
Tried to set up torch glitch, but unfortunately he missed the torch, so now he's going to have to do it the hard way. But, again, he's got butter, he's got silver arrows, he's got red mail. This is not going to be too much trouble for him at all.
And there we go. GG for Zaphod. Oh, no. I miscounted.
Still one more. He's got to use his blue potion. He thankfully grabbed that blue potion before he got there. He's going to be able to heal up, get his health, get his magic up. I think this should be the final hit here. Let's see. There we go.
There we go. That's actual GG. All he has to do is not fall off here. I thought he got 2 silver arrow hits on that first cycle, so my apologies.
That's all right. And as Zaphod enters the door, he finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 36 seconds. GG, Zaphod.
GG, Zaphod Beeblebrox. Excellent time, sub 140. Meanwhile, Maniacal making his way up through his gauntlet. Let's see how it goes for him. Finishing strong. This, unfortunately, will be the end of Maniacal's tournament life, so let's cheer him on, chat.
Unfortunately, Zaphod does not have a mic, so he will not be able to join us for an interview, but nonetheless, GG, my friend. GG, sir.
And Zaphod will be moving on to the next round. Do we know who he will be facing in the next round? Or is that an unknown?
What was that?
Do we know who Zaphod will be facing in the next round, or is that an unknown?
I don't honestly know for sure. I'm sure Epibliticos might probably knows. He'll probably put something on the chat if he knows what's going on with that. Oh, it's gonna be the winner of Muncheron Quipet and JJ Blue. So that's still not known yet.
So congratulations absolutely to Zaphod. 2 very well fought races against Maniacal here. And continuing on with his tournament life. So while Maniacal climbs the gauntlet here, I have a little piece of trivia about these runners. So any guesses as to when each of these runners' first race was in Link to the Past Randomizer on Speedruns Live.
I would have no clue, to be honest.
Well, I looked this up because I knew that Maniacal's a friend of mine and was a late starter. Maniacal's first race was 1 week before qualifiers.
Wow.
And Zaf's first race was the first qualifier. So if you're listening to this in chat and you're like, hey, this randomizer thing looks really fun, I want to get into it. If you put in work, you can get good at this real fast with these guys making a deep run into the tournament off of not too much play. They were new to this game not too long ago.
Yeah, the Link to the Past randomizer is very easy to get into. And what makes it even easier is that the community is so welcoming to new players. I mean,
oh yeah,
I got into this before. I was only watching a couple of weeks before I started getting involved in commentary, and they welcomed me with open arms as a relative nobody. So, you know, if you want to get involved with this community, please, by all means, do so. There's the Link to the Past Discord, or the Randomizer Discord, is very welcoming. Don't hesitate to ask questions. They will help you get started.
And absolutely don't listen to Tear. Tear is very welcoming. But yeah, I had the exact same experience with the community. I started with this community in June, and they helped me so much. I had someone in my first SRL race send me the practice ROM, and just from there, everything really took off. Whenever I had questions, they were all there. So super awesome, welcoming community. Definitely pays to be a part of it. If you're not and you want to be, we're waiting for you. Just get in your first race.
And it was Couch Cash on the pedestal.
No boots. I wonder where they were.
They must have been I'm calling it now, Turtle Rock. They were hiding in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, if we get one of these runners to explore the sea later, we might be able to figure that out.
I know if Jet were here, he'd do it. I've seen him do that before. Then again, he had to, because the swords were hidden so well. Took him. They had to do Master Sword for the majority of the game. Actually, no, they didn't even have that they had. That was the seed where Master Sword was their final item. They had to do Ganon's Tower without Master Sword.
Oh my. Well, let's see how the Aga 2 fight goes. It's a nice double there, because that was some pretty poor geometry.
Ooh, that one hit him hard. That one trolled him hard.
Getting another one. Not having too much more luck than Zafod did. At least the Aga 2 is being kind here with the lack of blue balls.
Yeah, no blue balls at all for either runner. So that was pretty good. Maniacal now finishing off Aga 2. Now it's time for the big pick for him as well.
And this is the final lap for him. So let's see how this last fight against Ganon in his tournament goes.
Indeed. Give Maniacal your energy, folks. I think he's earned it at this point.
And we see that there's right now only a gap of about 6 minutes, which would have been closed if he'd continued to go right. So a much closer race than it appears from the time. Phase 1 down, moving into Phase 2. And that's all 6 hits required for Phase 2.
Definitely not having too much trouble with, though. His health is a little low. He does need to be careful because he only has blue mail, which means Ganon can do a bit more damage to him.
And most importantly, he only has bees. I do not think he has a potion.
Thankfully, he has full magic and half magic, so he shouldn't have too much trouble, especially if he does get off the torch glitch.
Oh, I was wrong. He does have a blue potion in stock. I just saw it in his menu.
And indeed, he does get off his torch glitch, so he will be doing that. The torch glitch, for those who don't know, if you light the left torch before the right one goes out, the right torch will never go out. So you can focus a lot more on just keeping that left torch lit and then, shooting Ganon down. Ooh, that fire bat costing him a shot.
And this will be the last shot, for real this time. And GG to Maniacal. Finishing with... Oh, he needs to walk across, and then he will be finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 57 seconds. An amazing race, a very straightforward seed for both of these runners. I thought both of them played it well. I thought both of them made great decisions based on what they knew at any given time. Zephod being the victor.
Yeah, well done race from both of our runners. They definitely worked hard for this. And Maniacal will indeed be joining us here shortly. Just give him just a second.
So one thing I want to point out as we move on with this secondary tournament, the quality of runs of all of the runners has been improving drastically. Definitely haven't seen a whole lot of 2-hour plus seeds in the secondary tournament moving forward. So these players not only continuing to improve on their own, but definitely putting forth better and better performances and cleaner runs as we go on. So as we go forward, this tournament is getting more and more hype.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of intense runs here, and this is just the secondary tournament, which, not to discount these runners, there are some great runners in the secondary tournament, a lot of which would have been in the main tournament if not for time restrictions and other things like that. So it's definitely filled with some amazing runners, to say the least, and even those who aren't normally main tournament runners, like you said, these guys are pretty much brand new to Randomizer, and look what kind of runs they're pulling. So you could expect some amazing races going forward. And then our main tournament, oh good lord, the races I have seen in the main tournament have been incredible. So,
no joke.
Yeah, definitely do not miss out. If you guys are enjoying these runs, don't miss out on any of our tournament action. There is so much you can check out.
So Maniacal not yet in the waiting room yet. So just probably take a minute to decompress, and then we will get him in for his post-match interview.
Indeed, but nonetheless, I do want to remind you folks, as Evan Politicos put the links in the chat for you, if you guys enjoyed both Zephod Beetlebrox 4 and Maniacal42, give them both a follow on Twitch. They busted their butts to give you guys an amazing race. They deserve your support. Definitely don't hesitate to do that. Also, shout out to our tracker, Tear, and our restreamer, Epic Politicos. You definitely give those guys a follow as well. And of course, my co-commentator, Maximum Barnage, and myself, all of us have some great streams for you. Don't miss out on those either.
Yeah, I will definitely be giving Zephod a follow after a quite impressive run here. After watching him in the last race too, put forth a really great performance. So already a follow over Maniacals. So two new great follow channels for me out of this race.
All right, Maniacal's there. Let me go ahead and drag him in real quick. And Maniacal, GG, sir.
GG, Maniacal.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you very much. GG to Zephod Beetlebrox 4. Clearly better than me.
Oh, don't say that. You did it, but you had a great run. Don't doubt yourself there.
Death Mountain was completely blank, which was pretty bad. And I knew that I was behind when I punted Eastern that first time. I got greedy. I knew I was on limited arrows and didn't calibrate right in the statue room, and that was bad.
Yeah, that was
Ah.
fairly early on in the race. I would say a much more pivotal moment was the placement of the fire rod. How did you feel when you got that fire rod off of Zora?
I wasn't very happy with Zora for keeping that one from me because I would have much rather had that a little bit earlier. But also, there was nothing to push us to Zora. Like, Zora's just a really out of the way location, so I mean, who knows when anyone goes up and actually checks that spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tricky to route in there most of the time, but it's one of those things that eventually you have to check because just like in a case like this, every once in a blue moon, something in that area will have a critical item and it will hurt you if you miss it up, if you pass it up.
Yeah, and I felt like I got there at about the right time, honestly. That you're asking me a question about it suggests that I was very, very late to getting to Zora, but I really don't feel like I was. I felt like there were clean things for me to do that didn't involve me being over near Zora for most of that run. And I didn't feel like it really was a hindrance that I didn't have the fire rod up until I'd done Ice Palace right before, but I mean, I had the level 4 sword at that point, so honestly, it didn't bug me.
Yeah, I think the two things that, in my honest opinion, might have cost you was one, not checking dungeon area of escape, which, fair being fair, Zaphod was late getting to that as well, and the not bad but wrong call of going left side Ganon's tower because he went right side first and found the big key much sooner than you did.
Yeah, I thought that I was probably about 70% to nail the Gibdo torch room without boots on the first try, and so I said, you know what, I'll mirror out go left. We got a small key, but there's more equity in the left side anyway. It's just not per unit time equity. And I mean, that's what the right side play is all about in the first place. But I mean, it's realistically like a 70-30, so I felt good about it. It just didn't pay out.
Yeah, and that was kind of the story of the seed. It seemed like everything seemed to come up Zaphod. I think it really came down to him doing a more complete sweep of the overworld, whereas you were putting additional weight on the dungeon items, making that early dip into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Swamp was completely a bust, which was pretty rough. Bootless Swamp, especially because I had to handle it somewhat gingerly just because of the green mail and relatively low health, and the darned water orbs that pop up just get me every time. But yeah, Swamp not paying out was pretty rough. I felt like the dungeons opened fairly quickly, and that I wanted to allow the dungeons to lead into other dungeons, if possible. But I feel like that's kind of what happened in the last race as well, where Zaphod just made slightly divergent calls that paid out much, much better for him than the calls I was making. So, I mean, it's really a fairly close matchup, I think, but I just got ranched in both games on account of just not making the right calls at the right time, it seems. Which, that happens. That's Randomizer.
It is. Like, with runners as good as the two of you were, it comes down to what gambles do you take, what plays do you make, and which ones pay off. And it just felt like then a majority of it, aside from a minor execution botch with Eastern Palace, it really was just Zaphod was just making all the lucky calls. So yeah, definitely didn't. This was not you were a bad runner. This was just you were an unlucky runner this particular day.
Yeah, and I figured, I mean, not finding boots didn't work very well for me, honestly.
Don't feel bad. Zaphod didn't find them.
I was gonna say I didn't assume that Zaphod found them because they just didn't seem like they would have been in the path. But I guess he went to some overworld locations. So if maybe they were in like the Smith sequence, then it was possible that he would have found them. But I feel like gameplay with boots was one of the clear execution advantages I had in this particular matchup, and so doing a bootless seed really equalized any of the advantage I thought that I might have had. So I mean, it was very much just a coin flip, and he got there. So congrats to him. It's awesome. He's going to be moving on.
Yeah,
I know we're both newer runners. We were talking. He started about the same time I did, which was about a week before the qualifiers, to try and learn how to play. And I mean, I think we both made a lot of progress in the couple months.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's good to see a newer runner moving on like that.
Yeah, Barnage here was actually telling us about that as you were doing your gauntlet run. That you started just a week before, and apparently his first run was his first qualifying match. So that's how open this game is. That guys like you who have had little to if any experience with Randomizer can just jump in on this and get us like times like in-game time in times of like 140, 139 and 147. I mean, literally only like 8 minutes apart here. 7.5 minutes apart. That's incredible. That is amazing. So definitely do not discount yourselves. My first randomizer run that I did was 3 hours plus. So
mine was a little worse than that at the start. I think I put up a couple high 3, maybe low 4 type runs. So, those disasters happen to everyone early on. So if anyone's thinking about getting into it, just go brute force it. Watch a 100% tutorial, please, so that you just know where the items are at. And then download a tracker of choice and just get grinding. It's a lot of fun. It's a really cerebral and like relatively execution light randomizer. And so there's a lot of cool little execution things you can do, but the skill floor is relatively low. And so I feel like anyone can just jump in and start grinding and develop that skill and be competitive in this, which is really kind of a fun thing. And I think that's part of the draw of the game like this.
Yeah, and Randomizer has been probably one of my favorite gaming experiences of the past decade. Just it's so much fun, and there's so many different varieties that you can play. So if you're thinking about getting into it but are on the fence, just take the leap. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah. Set aside 4 to 6 hours for that first one.
Yeah, set aside some time to learn it. But and again, for me, my first time was just over 3 hours. And if I can do that on my first run, you guys can do it on yours. So definitely give it a shot. And the community will be very welcoming. Any last words from you, Maniacal, before we call it a night?
Yeah, just want to congratulate and thank Zaphod again for some good games. I think there were probably some compelling races. I think the first one we were pretty much step for step through about 54 minutes until I made a bad call to go back to pod. And this one, I imagine we were relatively close into Ganon's tower, and that left side really punished me. I was probably about 2 minutes behind. So, I mean, I think that hopefully they were fun races to watch. And I wanted to, of course, thank Maximum Barnage and the Shades for commentary and Epibliticus for the restream. And I think we have Sir Laugh-A-Lot on tracking.
Actually, it was Tara that was tracking tonight.
Oh, Tara was tracking tonight. Okay, then the spreadsheet was inaccurate last I checked it earlier. It was
a last-minute change. That's why.
Well, apologies to Tara, and thank you so much for the tracking, Tara. I'm sure you did an excellent job as the tracker bot. And I've had a blast in this tournament. I'm a little sad that it's over, but I may give it a try again next time one of these rolls around. I got I guess 8 or so reasonable games in. Happy with that given the relative lack of experience into this. So had a lot of fun. Thank you all of you guys, and also chat for, I'm sure, bringing the hype. I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching this one back.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting called to wrap this up. So thank you very much again, GG. Good race. Some good decisions, and we're gonna get this wrapped up. So thank you very much, Maniacal. Take care. Have a good night.
Yep. Take it easy.
And as for the rest of you guys, make sure you again give Maniacal and Zaphod Beeple Rocks 4 a follow on Twitch. Give them your support. Give a follow to our restreamer, Epipoliticus, our tracker, Tear, and of course, my co-commentator, Maximum Barnage, as well as myself, The Shades, under The Shades AT. Make sure you give us a follow. And of course, follow ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4 and Speed Gaming 1 through 4. In the meantime, on behalf of everybody here on The Shades, and as I always like to say, rock on, guys.
Good night, all.